Hey guys, it's Adam here from F150LEDs.com. Today we have our Bronco here in the shop. We're going to be showing you how to install our brand new Spartan tri-fog kit on this truck. This kit is extremely bright. We know you're going to love it. Let's go ahead and jump into the install right now. So let's start by talking about everything you're going to get in your kit. First off, you're going to get 2 of our quad Spartan lights and 4 of our duo Spartan lights. Now the lights that we're going to be installing today have our amber lenses in them. This kit also can come with clear lenses. Now with the amber lenses, when the primary lighting is on, you're going to have a hyper optic yellow light output. And with the clear lenses, you're going to have a more crystal clear white output with those clear lenses. But both kits have an amazing amber backlighting feature that gives just this awesome aggressive look when the primary light beams are not on. So you're also going to be getting 3 heavy duty harnesses with this kit, 1 for each set of lights. You're going to be getting all the switches that you need included, all of your hardware that you need, and you're also going to get our 2 custom heavy duty mounting brackets for this kit. All right, the first thing that we're going to do for this install is mount our mounting brackets to the actual bar themselves. So for the fog light install, we're going to take the mounting bracket and it's going to slide down the top of the bar with the Spartan logo facing that way, like so. To do so, we're going to flip the bracket over like this. You can see there's a channel here and a channel here that we're going to drop these included nuts down in. And then now that those are slid down back here, we're going to slide our our bracket in, and then you're going to line up the channel of the bracket with the hole in the bar. And then you're going to take this bolt, slide it in between, just begin to tighten that down like so, and then do the same thing for the other side here. You're going to make sure when you are installing this bracket, you can see here the C part of the bracket, the cutout part is facing the front of the bar. So we're going to go ahead and tighten these down all the way. That's good and secure. We're going to move to our duo. Now this bar does not have 2 channels. It's just simply we're just going to take a lock washer as seen here. Slide it through the smaller bolt like so. Take our bracket, once again with the C shape facing the front of the bar, and with our Spartan logo on top, we're going to drop the bracket straight down, line up the channel of the bracket with the hole in the side. Go ahead and get that hand tight for now while we do the other side. Once we get that down, we're going to go ahead and take our included Allen wrench and tighten this down. Do the same for the other side. So we're going to go ahead and finish mounting the rest of these brackets to the bars. Then we're going to mount these bars to the actual mounting bracket that will go on the Bronco itself. So this is the driver's side bracket. You can tell by the 3 holes facing away from you, this triangle here is going to be facing to your left. So we're going to take our quad, which is going to go on the innermost part of the truck, innermost part of the bracket as well. We're going to put our bolt through. So now we're going to have our bolt facing through, coming up like so. And we're going to go to this innermost hole right here. Go ahead and slide that through. We're going to take our lock washer and slide our nut over here as well, and just go ahead and get that hand tight for now. Just slide that over as well. Now our duo bars, they're going to come with 2 separate lenses. This one on my right hand here with the lines going vertically is our driving lens, which is going to be the center bar that we're going to mount to the bracket. And this one here is that's completely clear pretty much, is the spot lens, which is going to go on the very outside of the bracket. So we're going to go ahead and put this driving lens duo on the second hole here in this bracket. So we're going to slide our bolt through here. It is helpful to push the bracket forward, and then you can slide your your bolt under, and then just put your bracket back in place. Now we're going to take this, put it through that second hole like I just mentioned. Take your lock washer, slide that over the top of the bolt, and then take your nut, go ahead and get that hand tight as well. Like so. And then now for our outermost bar, the Duo with the spot lens again. We're going to repeat the same process, push that forward, slide our bolt through this channel, and put your bracket back into place. Now for this one, we're going to be using the very outermost hole here. All right, now that these Spartans are hand tightened to the bracket, we're going to go through and completely tighten them down all the way. Now these brackets do have some adjustability. This channel along here, you can move it to the left or right to your preference. We know what we like as the most optimal mounting location to where they'll be pointing straight forward and no light will be blocked. So we're going to go ahead and mount that down as we like it. We're going to take a half wrench and put it on the bolt head below, and then go ahead and start tightening this down like so. Now that we have this quad tightened down all the way, we're going to move to our center bar. And once we get done, we're going to show you where we have them in the channels. Like so. We're going to adjust this angle a little bit. And then now we're going to move on to our very last outermost bar. If it moves a little bit on you, that's fine, because then you can, after it's tightened, come back through and just turn them back into place like so. So this is how we have ours mounted in these channels. There's a little excess here, not much really excess of the channel showing here, and there's about 75% of it showing here. That's the way we like these to be mounted, so that they can show the most optimal amount of light. Now that we have our Spartan securely mounted to the bracket, we went ahead and did the same thing to our passenger side, and we're ready to move over to the Bronco to mount these lights to the truck. All right, so there's 3 bolts located underneath the bumper here. They're size T40 plus. Now that we have those out, we're gonna take our Spartans here, slide them up underneath. It does take a little bit of, finagling, so just be patient as you're sliding them up under here. Now we're gonna line up our channels here with the 3 holes of the bolts that we just removed. And start and tightening those. Now we're gonna take our ratchet and just tighten these bolts down into place, and we'll be good to move over to the passenger side. All right, now we need to run our 3 harnesses to the bars, and so we can connect them to power. So we're gonna go ahead and walk through our harnesses here. You're gonna have 2 connection points here that will go to the actual bars themselves. You have 2 white connectors that will be for your switches. The one with the white in the center will be for your backlighting, and the one with the blue in the center here will be for your primary lighting. We also have our 2 terminal rings that we're going to connect to the battery. But before we connect to the battery, before we do anything with the switches, we're going to go ahead and run these down to the bars themselves. So for this first one, we're going to take our first harness, go ahead and kind of lay it out a little bit. And then we're going to run this connector down through this opening on the driver's side of the vehicle. All right, now we're gonna take the same exact style connector that we just ran to the driver's side from our harness and run it to the passenger side. After you connect your harness to your lights, it's a good idea to label the white switch connectors so you know what light is going to power. Labeling them now will prevent any confusion later once we are ready to start hooking up switches, or in our case today, connecting to the factory auxiliary switches. Since we just connected this harness to our quad lights, we're going to label both of these switch connectors with a Q for quad. You might prefer to use a 4 instead of a Q for quads, or a 2 instead of D for duos, as long as it makes sense to you. So we're going to go ahead and label these switch connectors with a Q for quads. Remember, the connector with a white wire in the middle is for the backlighting, and the connector with a blue wire is for primary lighting. We're going to add a B for backlighting to the one with a white wire, and a P for primary lighting to the one with the blue wire. So we're going to go ahead and flip these over. Add our B for backlighting, and add our P for primary lighting. As you continue to connect the next two harnesses, be sure to label the switch connectors as you go. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the next two harnesses. All right, now we're going to be connecting to power by connecting these terminal rings to our battery. We're going to start with our ground here with a size 10mm socket. I'm going to go ahead and slide all three black terminal rings over the negative side of our battery. Then tighten this back down. Now we're going to be connecting the three terminal rings with the red wiring going to them to the positive side of our battery. Again, go ahead and slide these over. And then we'll tighten this back down. Now we're ready to begin connecting to our auxiliary switches. We offer a variety of switch source options for you to choose from, but today our Bronco is equipped with factory auxiliary switches, which is what we're going to be utilizing. Today we're going to be using our included red switch wires from the kit to make fast and easy direct connections to the factory auxiliary switch wiring in our Bronco. You can hook up your lights independently if you like to control them via their own separate switches. Today we're going to connect all of our backlights to a single switch, but utilize two specific switches for our primary beams. We're going to be using one switch to connect our quad and our middle duo, and then we're going to be using another switch for our outside duos. So we've located the bundle of our auxiliary wiring, and you can see they are different colors. And just reference this guide on the screen to see which wires coordinate with which auxiliary switch. So we're going to take our first harness that we want to connect and take one of the red switch wires included with your kit and plug it into your switch connector from the harness. So we're going to take the switch connector that we labeled quad primary lighting and go ahead and connect it to the red switch connector. Then we will take one of our easy T-tap connectors and slide the red wire into the hole opening on the bottom and clamp it down with some pliers. You'll hear it click. Then you'll take the long opening on the top of the easy T-tap connector and slide it over the Bronco switch wire that you wish to connect to and clamp it down with some pliers until it clicks shut. Simply repeat this process to connect the rest of your switches based on your preference using this guide. Remember, you can connect multiple red switch wires to the same switch. Once your connections are complete, hop in your Bronco and test to make sure all the connections were done properly and that your lights are working properly. Then take the included zip ties, go into the engine bay, and just make sure you zip tie your harnesses and any loose wires up to where they're not dangling around in the engine bay, interfering with any fans or belts or anything like that. So that's all there is to installing this Spartan tripod kit on your Ford Bronco. You can check out this kit along with all of our other amazing LED technology for your Ford truck at f150leds.com. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at F150LEDs to stay up to date with all of the latest and greatest LED technology for your Ford truck. We truly appreciate your support. We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks, guys.